So, and they all told me, kid, you missed it. You missed it. This
Wow.
is good, but it's all ending. And in our time there, 90 to 95 in Berlin, I saw each one of those bureaus close. So I saw that transition, and it was like, okay, so the period of the great metros is over. I went back to New York to work for U.S. News and World Report, covering pop culture, business, Holocaust restitution efforts, kind of you name it, from the Northeast, the Steve Forbes presidential campaign, if anybody remembers that. So within 5 years, the news weeklies were on the ropes. And it was kind of clear to me there's not a future in this medium anymore. But that's when I left. And at that point, I met with Walter Isaacson at Time, and he was just like, look, you can see for yourself, this is not a growth industry. So I had a friend at NBC who was at Dateline, and he said, maybe think about 60 Minutes, because they're sort of the last place that still wants print journalism. So that began my career in broadcast and the visual media. And so all this keeps on going to the point now where you look at what's happening at 60 Minutes, and you look what kind of pressure they're under, and you look at how their numbers over the last couple of decades since I was there have kept shrinking. But so when I think about this moment, I think two things. So when somebody, say 10 years younger than I am, 20 years younger than I am, thinks about how they got into it, they can still get into those places, and they can still have jobs there to this day. But they're fragile, and their piece of the media pie is just shrinking. And after what's happening now between the White House and CBS, and now the New York Times is being sued, so there's that sense of a legacy that, people still talk about mainstream media as if that's this powerhouse juggernaut. And it's not what it was when that term was coined. If anything, they're almost like, I hate to say this, but they're almost like boutique media, right? The world of social media, of TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, which is now arguably what we used to call the first draft of history. I can't take credit for it, but it was often said that that's what we're doing. So now social media, from TikTok through Instagram to Facebook, wherever you are, that's the first draft of history.